Oh god, no. Hey guys, I'm Anderson9132 and I'm the Robot Wars Guru. Well, over a year ago I did a review of Semi-Final A of Series 3. It was a jolly good episode with some good fights, interesting moments and memorable pit segments. But do you know which episode has none of that? The one that fucking preceded it. Heat P of Series 3 is renowned as being one of the worst episodes, not just of Series 3, but of Robot Wars as a whole. And considering we have had the International League Special, Heat C of Series 4, and World Series Episode 2, that's bloody saying something. Then again, I haven't watched this episode in a very long time. I mean, can you blame me here? But it's only fair I give it another chance and see if the test of time has changed my views on it. I used to think that the Third World Championship was rubbish until I rewatched it a few years back, and now I consider it one of the best classic episodes. Can the same happen here? I doubt it, but it's going to be fun finding out. And by fun, I mean a feeling parallel to the feeling of being hit in the face with a wet fish. Only the fish is a great white shark. So, as usual, the episode opened with a nice little monologue from Craig. It wasn't his best intro by a long margin, but it was okay. This was before he tried adding comedy to his intros, so it's just a little bit bland. The robots, however, oh boy. Being fair, we get a lot of interesting robots in this heat. Sadly though, they don't really live up to their interesting designs. We have future mainstays Smidsy with the grabbing jaws, which were way better than that boring scoop they added in Series 6. There's no other way of saying it, this should have been the heat winner, but life has a way of being cruel to us mere humans. Scarab is another robot that oozed potential with those beautiful horizontal crushes, the first competitor to use such a weapon I might add, but again, luck wasn't really on their side. And that's pretty much it for the robots that look like potential winners. Sure, Veterans Dreadnought returned with a gorgeous new shell, but it was never exactly a robot that shouted heat winner. Trident, the eventual heat winner, looked shiny, but JP summed it up perfectly.
Trident looks like a shiny wheelie bin.
He's not wrong, is he? I do feel bad for Trident. I think it's unfairly disliked, and it was a unique, interesting machine, but I agree that it had no right being a semi-finalist when Smidsy and Scarab were also in this heat. Ratus was a fun concept, but let down by a stupid design and poor reliability. Seriously, why have front ramming spikes only to add a nose that is longer than said spikes? That's just stupid! Tun Trun looked fantastic. That's it. Psycho Killer looked solid, but it wasn't, as proved by it receiving serious damage from Dreadnought of all robots. And Victor 2 was poo, with its only feat being that it damaged itself. So the lineup isn't exactly stacked, but what about the battles? Even two crap robots can put on a good show if evenly matched. Sadly, that rule went out the pissing window in this heat. First up, Smidsy vs Ratus. This was an unfortunate battle because Smidsy was suffering from radio receiver problems. This meant that it could only move in random jolts, leaving us with a pretty poor fight as Ratus struggled to land a meaningful attack on a barely mobile robot. The only real thing of note is Ratus somehow damaging itself after ramming into dead metal. Thankfully, dead metal put us out of our misery and pitted Smidsy due to it being deemed immobile due to a lack of control. I'll give this fight 1.5 out of 5 simply because of Ratus de-shelling itself, which was pretty funny. Next was Trident vs Tun Trun. Trident wins with a one-hit KO axe shot. No, I'm not kidding. That little tap was enough to kill Tun Trun. Can you even call it a fight? Well, annoyingly, yes you can, because both robots moved and touched each other. But that's about it. Even the house robots didn't do much in the way of damage to the fiberglass armour, which is annoying because it had some lovely break-off bits. Oh, and they purposely moved it off the floor flipper, which really upsets me. 0 out of 5. I'll tell you this much though, it's not as bad as Victor 2 vs Scarab. I mean, fuck me with a bicycle, this was rough. Both machines did absolutely nothing before Scarab died on the arena floor spikes. Great. Fucking beautiful. Arguably the two best robots in the heat are out in round 1. Fabulous. The only thing saving this fight from minus figures is Victor 2 damaging itself, which did make me smile. 0 out of 5. And then, get this, Dreadnought beat Psycho Killer in an okay battle. Sure, it was a bit slow, and yes, the robots weren't exactly stellar, but they both worked, and there were actual tactics used, and battle damage, and everything, and it was way better than the previous 3 battles combined! However, Psycho Killer was a bit dismal with poor driving and armour so weak that Dreadnought's fork sliced through it. Still, Kidlot snipping off its axe and the house robot stampeding it did boost the fight up a bit. 2 out of 5, it was the best fight of the episode. Oh Lord Mortis, please give me something decent in this pinball run. No. Mortis just didn't seem to have the control needed for this event, struggling to knock barrels down and failing the ramp a few times before getting stuck on one of the pits. Great. And it scored a whopping 60 points, putting it in joint second last with Kilohertz. Fuck's sake. In our first heat semi-final, we saw Dreadnought beating Rattus Rattus in a nothing fight. Because nothing happened. Rattus Rattus did fuck all. Oh wait, no, sorry, it moved about a foot and then did nothing. Thankfully the house robots do get some decent attacks in, saving it from the dreaded Naught rating, but it still only gets a 0.5 out of 5. Victor 2 versus Trident. Well, they at least both bloody move this time. Sadly though, not much else happens. Both robots get some meaningless attacks in until Victor 2 gets himself stuck on the pit, leading to the inevitable. Woo. 1 out of 5. And in the heat final we get nothing. Well, that's a bit harsh. We got some more love taps from Trident's axe which barely dent Dreadnought's armour, and then the inevitable happened as Dreadnought died for no reason. Hey, the fact that it made it this far is remarkable. Then the house robots gangbanged Trident because they don't like shiny things. Right. Whilst the damage looks lovely, I think this was a little harsh. This is the heat winner for crying out loud. Still, the team seemed to take it well. 1 out of 5 mainly for the damage dealt to Trident, to be honest. Good God, this episode is shit. The battles are a joke, the best robots lost in round 1 and it had one of the worst pinball runs of the series. The pit segments kind of make up for it, with the Rattus Rattus team taking their robots gimmick to the extreme.
It's suffered from its own plague, I think.
Yes,
And the Trident team seemed to have a good laugh.
Decent air conditioning,
it shouldn't overheat.
some nice aerodynamic moulding. You should be even faster.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's why we let them do it.
Good.
And we even saw some of that wonderful sportsmanship throughout.
And the Rattus Rattus are really good guys. Like we wouldn't have even fought today if they hadn't lent us half their tools and a good chunk of their spares.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's not enough to save it, I'm afraid. 2 out of 10 for one of the worst episodes in the show's history. So with all that said and done, let's get to the episode merits. Battle of the episode goes to Psycho Killer vs Dreadnought, simply because it was an actual fight. Worst battle of the episode goes to Victor 2 vs Scarab because it was pathetic. Best moment of the episode goes to Rattus Rattus streaking against Smidsy. And the golden mic for best JP quote goes to this wonderful Hitchcock tribute.
Hitchcock Psycho wasn't as frightening as this. Coming, mother!
And that's it for this review and this video. Do you agree with me or are you mental and think this episode was good? What do you think of Heat P? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, I'll see you next time.